everyone, this is Trevor Pott, and today we're going to take a look at Office 365 email migration. There are three ways to get your data into Office 365. If you take a look in Setup, you will see Import User Data. The three main ways to go through are to migrate mailboxes, import your user's PST files, or use a cutover migration. Importing your user's PST files or migrating the Imap mailboxes are fairly simple and straightforward. The slightly more difficult route is the Exchange migration. In order to do an Exchange migration, you have to have Outlook Anywhere set up on your on-premise Exchange server. You need to make sure that you have a UC certificate installed, and you have to run a PowerShell script to give one of your users rights over the data store containing all of the user accounts. The alternative is to give your administrative user rights on a per mailbox basis. Within Office 365, we start by going into Exchange Administration. We then click on Migration, pull the drop down by the plus sign, and migrate to Exchange Online. This will bring up our box, and you can see here that you have the Imap migration, staged migrations, remote move, and whatnot. Cutover is the one that I have found to be the most difficult, so it is the topic of this video. Here we enter the account information for the user that has the Receive As permission for all of the mailboxes that you wish to migrate. Hit Next, and hopefully you have a little bit of coffee to sip while you wait. Here, Office 365 is connecting to your Exchange on-premises deployment to verify the credentials of the account that you entered. As you can see, it's picked up my servers because I had a properly configured Outlook Anywhere setup, including the Unified Communication Certificates. I'm going to create a name for this migration batch. After the batch is complete, the report will be sent to, well, we have Josh or me, and Josh is a little busy, so we'll leave it at me. You can automatically start the batch or manually start the batch later. The reason that you might choose manually is if you are queuing up groups of individual batches, say for example that you have multiple migration admins who are each responsible for different mailboxes, which will then be started by a master administrator later on in the process. This is advisable for larger enterprise movements. As you'll see, an alert pops up that a migration batch has been queued. Here you'll see the status is syncing. Periodically, you'll want to refresh to see what has happened, how many items have synced, finalized, failed, etc. In terms of setting up the migration to Office 365, this really is all there is to it. The post-migration process involves migrating public folders through a very similar process, assigning the Office 365 licenses to the users in question, verifying that your DNS records are updated and pointed to Office 365, during which you want to keep migration open and not finalize it, because you will have mail being delivered to both mailboxes as DNS replicates throughout the internet. Once you're certain that the email is no longer being delivered to the on-premise installation, you can go ahead and finalize the batch. This will ensure that all of your email is synchronized between both servers during the totality of the process. Don't forget to configure everybody's devices to point to the new server. Otherwise, they will be able to connect to your old on-premise Exchange system, see all of their mail, but not get any of their new stuff. And that's it. That's all there is to migrating from an on-premise system to Office 365. Thanks for listening.